All right, what's going on, bros? Good to see you, and welcome to the Empire. That well, some of them are that I bred, yeah, and they're just meant either because I just wanted copies, right? Look, the mutations are terrible. Now, depending on how serious you are in wanting to make the perfect Perlovia, these aren't a bad thing. Right? These can be very good. We're at 11, 12,000 mutations. Right? You're going to want to find the highest amount of mutations. And you've got about 10,000 here. Okay? You can work on a negative mutation line. Right? A negative mutation line is like the most top quality breeder in this game is possibly going to be working on 3 to 4 different lines of the same breed. Okay? And that is going to be initially your perfect 0-0. The 0-0 that you want to work on, you want to use, you want to clone. Right? A good option is going to be just a low-level cloner. It's cheap, easy, done, right? But a lot of if you look at the shadow mains, they were the color that Danny wanted, right? With all of like okay stats, the good stat for stamina, for food, for weight, right? It had no mutation, so it was like the best wild stats out of the batch of breeding with the color with 0 mutations, so that it can be cloned and it can be used in lieu of this. Now what that does is it allows you to be able to, it's still a 0-0, but it guarantees that the babies, most of them will be the color that you're looking for, as well as usable, right? If you use a low-level cloner, the bad part of that is it's going to have shit weight, right? It's going to have shit stam, shit food, and maybe the stat you're looking for, the HP, right? But the benefit is you know when there's a mutation. By these all being the same level, right? And he's going to be using, did he put the red one up there? Were you able to fit the red one up here? I thought you cryoed it to bring it up. I'm going to cryo it. Are you breeding right now? Oh, they're gestating. All right, perfect. I'm going to see if we can just throw it up there without any issue. Because it may say, like, you can't throw it up here. And that alone may change the design. So we're going to try. Perfect. So then he would just have to enable mating, and then he can hit all of these at once. Right? They're all on cooldown from the cryo, but you'll be able to test this out tomorrow. So you've got there's a guide for it right now during event. He's doing so much progress with that at the moment. He actually is working on the negative mutation line right now. Right? By just breeding all these things, he is working on the negative mutation line, possibly. Not on these guys. But this one, no, that's wild too. So these are gestating, right? This one has 800, but there's one that had like 11,000. That's the one you want. You want to find the ones that have the most mutations and just breed them together. Oh, regardless of stat, regardless of color. Right? All that you care about is the sum of these two numbers and breeding those two sums together again. Over and over and over till you get to 2.3 billion. It's not that many. It sounds like a lot, but it becomes additive and it becomes very quickly very easy. The benefit of the negative mutation is that right now you're at half capacity. You will never get a mutation on this male side. Right? Supposedly, maybe there's a super small chance, but because you've got 3,490, you will never get a mutation on this male side. The only mutation you can get are from the females. So to counteract that, you use more females, right? So that you have a better chance of getting that mutation. Now, if you were to work on a negative mutation line, right? Once you hit negative, and you get the main stats you're looking on that line, right? You get the negative mutation, then you breed your stats and/or color into that line, and then you breed that into your stock. And every single time you get a mutation, that negative number only goes up by 1, right? So it is near impossible to revert that back to positive. And because it's negative is less than 0, your male who has the negative mutation is now considered 0. So you're now at full capacity. It basically doubles your chances of mutations. So instead of using 400 Perlovias, you could use 200 Perlovias and generally have the same chance of mutations. Right? So right now, you only one side, only the females will be able to mutate. But with enough of them, but negative above 20 counts as positive. As long as the sum is negative, then you're fine. And once you hit negative, unless you're breeding the negatives together, it'll never flip positive. So you don't have to worry about it. But the point is, you'll have basically a double chance to get a mutation. So he's running at half capacity until he works on it. And it's like maybe 32 breeds from the start. But because you already have one that's 11K, that's half the work right here. More than half the work. Not this one. But this one right here, oh, look at this, even better. It's 30, what is that, 30, almost 40K? 40K plus 40K, you're at 80K plus 40, then you're at 120. Maybe you get twins, then you're at a half a mil, right? Quarter mil. And then you're at a mil. And then you're at 2 mil. Then you're at 5 mil. Maybe a mil and a half. Because depending on where they go. But it starts pumping, right? Because it's additive. So you can get there very quick with this one. That's a good one. So that's what you're looking for. Just what the highest mutations. So that's your life is actually super easy. If you've got this already,
we're so scared of getting caged.
You're over halfway there. It can just go negative. It's going to be negative like 2 billion. Don't worry about all you're trying to do is get to a little bit above 2.3 billion is what you're looking for. Once you get even close to that, right? That next one is going to flip you over and then you're done. Even if say you get to the negative and then he's going to, you want to put your main stats in it. Your main stats may have 10,000, right? Or 40,000 or just 2,000. It doesn't matter. You can breed that in and be safe. Already have a negative 1 mil theory, then you're good. And as long as you're breeding that into, the fresh females, even if they get a mutation, it's 1. And what's 1, you got to flip. You got to go all the way to 0 to flip back positive. So you don't have, even if it's 10,000, even if it's, a million, it's not going to really affect pushing that because your goals are only to get those stats onto the negative line. And then from that point, it's always negative. You never it's only going to go up by 1 unless you try to mess with it with a whole nother line or color. Is there a guide? What for? There is a guide on Reddit for -1. I don't see the benefit of -1. The benefit is, like I said before, this male will never get a mutation on his side. When we get babies from these, right, you'll never see a mutation on the baby from the paternal side. Okay? You only see a mutation on the maternal side. So when the baby will be, you know, it'll show +1 here. Has no difference, exactly. Just need to stack the mutes until it says negative. Okay? And then, you can get set up and over. Oh, yeah, I'm good. You're good though with this. With that one, most of the work is done. Because think about it. At the beginning, you get 1 mutation and another mutation. You add it to 2. Then you add the 2 with the 1 and you're at 3. And then the 2 with the 3, you're at 5. Right? And then 5 with the 3, you're at 8. And so it takes a while to get up to 40,000 to 11,000. So you're mostly there if you choose to do the negative mutation. But there we go. Let me give you your empties back. And it'll double your potential outcome.